Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with an unusual move to address a healthcare shortage. People who donate blood in Canada are not paid for it, but now people who donate a portion of their blood can be. A new clinic expected to open soon in Cambridge will offer honorariums to plasma donors. CTV's Krista Simpson joins us with more on this story tonight. Krista, this is all part of Canadian Blood Services' plan to boost plasma donations.
Well, Tony, Canadians are used to the idea of donating blood or organs without being compensated for it. So the idea of donating plasma for pay has raised some questions and concerns. Canadian Blood Services says it's because they're not getting enough plasma from Canadians to meet the growing needs. It's using a partnership with a healthcare company to try and change that. This complex on Hespeler Road in Cambridge will soon include a clinic where people can donate their plasma and get paid for it.
Plasma is the component of blood that looks kind of yellow or straw colored.
It contains plasma proteins like antibodies. Plasma is used for transfusions or to make products like immunoglobulins that can be administered regularly to people with certain immune deficiencies.
It's a maintenance that a lot of these patients require lifelong. It's almost like someone with diabetes needing insulin because they just don't have enough. These patients are the same. They really don't have enough antibodies, so they need them to protect them against infections.
The problem is Canadian Blood Services says they only get a fraction of what they need when it comes to plasma donations, which at their clinics are not paid. Nearly 3 years ago, they announced a plan to boost donations by having a global healthcare company called Grifols open plasma collection centers where donors are offered honorariums, up to $100 per donation, according to the Grifols website.
At the moment, we are reliant on some plasma that is coming from the U.S. And again, many of those are paid donors already.
Both Canadian Blood Services and Grifols emphasize that the plasma collected in Cambridge will be used to produce life-saving immunoglobulin medicines for patients in Canada. This clinic will be the 15th across Canada, with 2 more scheduled to open in Ontario later this summer. Donating plasma involves blood being removed, the plasma separated out, and then the rest of the blood returned to the donor. This means plasma can be donated more frequently than blood.
Because it doesn't cause, iron loss or doesn't cause your red blood cells to be too low, and your body's pretty good at regenerating those proteins.
Canadian Blood Services should do everything it can to increase voluntary donations. But if the Canadian healthcare system needs to use paid plasma, then I think it's better if the paid donors are here because we can be responsible for using ethical standards to regulate it.
Christopher Lowry is an associate professor of philosophy at the University of Waterloo and says while free donations are the gold standard, given the circumstances, paying Canadians for plasma seems to be the next best option. Adding it's important that there are strong ethical guidelines around how it is done.
For example, those regulations should at least make sure that there is informed consent before the procedure every time they donate, and that the donors know that they have the right to stop in the middle if they change their mind. Canadian Blood Services says honorariums can be offered for plasma because they have a provincial exemption, and Grifols is acting as their agent. Grifols says they expect the Cambridge clinic to be open in a couple of months. Tony.
Okay, Krista, thank you for that. CTV's Krista Simpson with our top story tonight.